Welcome to Oxford News This Week. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Terry Stiles. In this week's news, a bank robbery suspect is caught and new business announced for downtown development.
Stay tuned. Learn more about these stories and others. The Oxford News begins right now. Oxford resident Shane Cummings was nabbed by the fugitive apprehension team after a warrant was issued for robbing the Oxford Bank on July 26th. The Oakland Sheriff's fugitive apprehension team located and arrested Cummings without incident at a relative's residence on Cashmere Road in Lake Orion. According to police, Cummings entered the bank and handed the teller a note saying he had a gun and to place money in various denominations into the backpack. The teller followed his demands, and the bank robber quickly left the crime scene using a local taxi service. Cummings was arraigned in 52nd 3rd District Court in Rochester. His bond was set at $250,000.
New businesses for the mixed-use three-story development on East Burdick, downtown Oxford, have been announced. Evergreen's Coffee and Bake Shop will take up the first floor, and according to Evergreen's owner, Angie Green, she plans to make bagel bombs. Bagel bombs are stuffed bagels with an ounce of cream cheese and a variety of toppings, and they've taken off in Oxford. Green is working with the Michigan State University Product Center to show her how to sell and market the bagel bombs in other bake shops and stores. The second floor of the new development is still destined to be office space, with the top floor being a two-bedroom, two-bath condo with a balcony, and the whole building is being developed by local developer Dave Weckel. Congratulations.
Culver's Restaurant may soon be coming to a 3.46-acre site on the west side of M24 near the Tractor Supply Company. A preliminary site plan will be considered by the Oxford Township Planning Committee at 7 p.m. on August 22nd. Independence Township resident Andrew Zielicki is owner of the Rosetta Building Company and is the restaurant applicant. He said with Oxford's continued to grow pattern, Culver's could make a great fit in the Oxford community.
Oxford Village Police will purchase an 8th and final tactical vest thanks to an $800 donation from the Oxford Chamber of Commerce. Traditional Kevlar vests can only stop a 9mm round, whereas the tactical vests provide additional protection from rifle rounds and other high caliber bullets. And the Oxford Chamber wishes to thank everybody that participated in that golf outing that they had that helped them raise those funds.
Oxford School Board approved by a 6-0 vote the purchase of 3mm window security film to be applied to outside windows at Oxford High School, at the middle school, and 5 elementary schools. The window film is called Safety Silver S20 and will cost about $107,000. $27,000 will be covered by the school district and the rest paid by $442,000 grant received from the Michigan State Police earlier this year. The glass film is meant to hold glass together longer when shattered. However, it is not bulletproof. It provides a mirror finish on the exterior of the glass, not allowing visibility from the outside. According to 3M, the manufacturer, the film also provides some filtering of the sun's rays and can reject up to 79% of the sun's heat.
Well, it sounds like a pretty good deal for the school and for the kids. Anything that they can do to keep those kids a little bit safer. Between that and the tactical vests,
absolutely,
we're really stepping up our security in Oxford these days. And then let's talk about, we need another hamburger place, don't we, in Oxford?
Oh yeah,
I'm
more
glad
the merrier.
To see that Culver's is coming in, but my goodness.
Yeah, I think when you look at the development, economic development that's going on there, it does question, how many more hamburger places can we handle?
Right.
Apparently, they've done a study and they feel that, because of the growth that
we do need some
Oxford
quick food purchase places. We do need that. And I heard a thing on the radio today where somebody was complaining that if a hospital wants to come into the community, it shouldn't be up to the government to say, yes, there's a need. they should just be able to bring something into a community. So I kind of agree with that. We need a little less heavy-handed government around here. But I also agree that study is a really good idea, whether it's the government that's making that study or the new person coming into the community. Culver's is a big hit. There's no doubt about it.
There's always in every situation either agreement or disagreements, and they do eventually settle into something that works.
Something
hopefully.
in the middle. That's Oxford has been very good about that. They've been really fiscally responsible, and they've been responsible about what they're bringing into the community. I think that they really care. The boards in Oxford really care. And speaking of fiscal responsibility, I saw a lot of back and forth on Facebook prior to the election, which is August 6th, for the millage renewal for Parks and Recs.
I heard
I'm not sure that any political ideas should really be spewed on Facebook. It really, I saw a lot of anger coming out, and that's really a shame that that happens.
That is a quick way to spread what they really call fake news.
False information,
False
right?
information,
Right, because
and
somebody says it with some kind of authority, and then the next thing you know, the next 10 conversations below that are, oh my gosh, I don't want that to happen, and that should go right to our community boards. And also, we air all of those meetings on OCTV, which I also saw on Facebook that OCTV is a waste of the community money. It was only 2 people saying that. We were being defended as well. But I don't think it's a waste of the community money. We're standing to lose our funds, and it just breaks my heart that this community will lose all the local attention that we give to it.
yeah, you will lose a lot of services out there, particularly the school activities that are going on, and the political situations, of course, in all the meetings. Not to mention the chamber, what they're involved in, and you as a normal resident or a retailer out there, in downtown Oxford, and the benefits that you gain from the station.
We promote the businesses.
All that's going to go away.
Yeah, it is.
You're
In
not
fact,
careful.
as an example, somebody said, oh, we don't even watch OCTV. We don't even know that they're here. I put up our community access, which introduced Beehive Homes to the community. And so you get to learn who Beehive Homes are. That's the building that's being constructed on Gillespie that everybody's going to pass by when they take their kid to school. Within 48 hours, we had 300 views just of that show alone. So I don't totally believe that people don't watch us.
Well,
and we get a lot of requests for us to do shows. So.
YouTube alone, you're looking at 220,000 hits.
Yeah.
So no, people are watching, and if you feel there's no value to it, it's probably because you're not watching it. You need to watch it and see what's going on.
Good point.
Right? It's communications is the best communications I think a small community can have, and you're very fortunate to have a television station here.
Oh my goodness, and very transparent too.
Right.
I mean, number one, you can put whatever show you want on this station. You can use this station, but you get to have front row seats to every meeting that happens in Oxford, the village of Oxford, the village of Leonard, and Addison townships. And so I don't know why people complain about it. It's people that don't really get involved with their community, but they sit on the sidelines like that armchair quarterback and criticize everything that's going on.
Right.
There's too much money going into Parks and Recs. They were just asking for a renewal, and it would have upped their renewal of a 1995 millage, and that would have upped their bill by 18 cents per 100,000 of your home value. That could be like $58 a year at any rate.
Now, to mention
quarterbacks.
What's wrong with that? Somebody said the other day that, well, did you realize that there's going to be $48 per mill that this is going to be? That's completely wrong.
See, that's what I mean. Go to your community and find out the right thing, not what some armchair quarterback expert is telling you on Facebook or Twitter or whatever else.
It's trying to be the truth, but it's not.
So frustrating.
Yeah,
Anyhow.
right. So get the facts. You know,
So that was my soapbox.
well, you did a good job there, Terry.
I've always got some kind of, I'm defending our community big time. But that's it for Oxford News this week. If you'd like to learn more about these stories and others, pick up a copy of the Oxford Leader newspaper, or better yet, you can catch us on our website, occtv.org, on YouTube, and of course our regular cable channel Spectrum, Channel 191, and AT&T Channel 99.
Coming up soon on OCTV is School News with Alexis Ware, and you won't want to miss Auto Talk and Science in the News with Dave Kenny.
I'm Terry Stiles. Thanks for watching Oxford News this week, where we bring your news closer to your home.
And I'm Elgin Nichols. Remember, always be kind to your friends and neighbors, and thanks for watching.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication New Scientist. In our first story, smell that? If it's cheesy, sweaty, or sweet, you might be more likely to sense an odor. Humans have evolved many more smell receptors for these scents than anything else, probably to help us choose which foods to eat. Louis Saraiva at Sidra Medicine at Doha, Qatar, and his colleagues looked at smell receptors in mice and people. They started by analyzing the small patch of neurons that contains smell receptors. This area is about 2.5 square centimeters in humans and sits in between the eyes at the top of the nasal cavity. To find out which smell receptors mice and people have, the team extracted mRNA from each of the samples. This molecule plays a key role in allowing genes to make proteins, so the team used mRNA levels to tell which of the genes in each sample were switched on, as well as their relative abundance. Both species have more receptors for odors that smell like rancid milk or cheese, sulfur or sweat, or are particularly sweet or spicy smelling like vanilla or clove than other smells. This may mean that we are more sensitive to these scents, although the researchers can't yet say for sure. In humans, these smells are important for helping us make decisions about which foods to eat and distinguishing between what's ripe and what's rotten, says Saraiva. But in mice, the chemicals act as pheromones, chemicals that can change their behavior, such as those that attract mates. Wow. And in our next story, how does the brain clean itself? We now know a major route for clearing toxins out of the brain, and this finding could help us understand what goes wrong in age-related conditions such as Alzheimer's disease. Whereabouts cerebrospinal fluid enters and exits the brain has been a long-standing enigma, says Gu-Young Ko at Korea Advanced Institute for Science and Technology in South Korea. In 2014, a network of vessels called the meningeal lymphatic vessels in the outer brain membrane were found to play a part in regulating the brain's fluids, flushing out excess proteins that can build up in the brain. To find out which routes the fluid takes, Gu-Young Ko and his colleagues injected dye and tracer quantum dots into the cerebrospinal fluid of mice and then traced it where it flowed out of the brain using brain scans. They found that the basal meningeal lymphatic vessels allowed cerebrospinal fluid to move in and out of the brain at the base of the skull, but not at the top. The team found a significant decline in cerebrospinal fluid drainage in the brains of older mice. Animals who were 2 or more years old had about half the level of drainage through their basal meningeal lymphatic vessels than those aged 3 months. The draining of cerebrospinal fluid is thought to be important for brain health. In conditions like Alzheimer's, proteins such as amyloids can build up in the brain and may cause damage. Wow. And still in the brain, the brains of U.S. diplomats who were struck down with a mysterious illness while stationed in Cuba appear to have undergone changes that are unlike any known disorder. The findings are tentative, but if borne out, they would undermine the theory that mass hysteria, otherwise known as psychogenic illness, mass psychogenic illness, that is to blame. The Diplomats first began reporting strange, unexplained health problems in 2016. These symptoms typically followed loud and unusual sounds, often described like grinding metal, buzzing, or piercing squeals. Some also reported feelings of pressure or vibrations in the air. Afterwards, the staff reported symptoms including nausea, headaches, sleep problems, vertigo, hearing loss, and memory and cognitive issues, some of which lasted for months. Rajini Verma at the University of Pennsylvania and her colleagues have now used more advanced imaging techniques to study 40 of the diplomats and compared the results to a control group. They found significant differences compared to the controls. The diplomats had less white matter across their whole brains as well as in the frontal, occipital, and parietal lobes. They also had fewer connections in the regions of the brain responsible for hearing and visuospatial abilities. It remains difficult, however, to determine what the neurological basis is. There was a long delay between 4 days and 400 days between the onset of the symptoms and the scanning of their brains, and the search goes on. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television.
There's a lot of history to Oxford. Hidden around every corner, deep in every crack, and sometimes right in front of you, waiting to be discovered. If you just dig a little, you'll find the great history of our beautiful town. Welcome to Historic Oxford.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to School News. There are a few more events coming for the summer at the Addison and Oxford Public Libraries. Oxford still has their Throwback Thursday movies, Maker Mondays, and their year-round club meetings and game nights. They also have their lock-in programs. The next one is Nerf Games Lock-In on Friday, August 9th from 6 until 9 p.m. The Dungeons and Dragons Club met last Thursday, August 1st. Their next meeting isn't until Thursday, August 15th. So if you would like to join or would like to just stop by and check out some of the things they do, contact the Oxford Public Library Teen Department for more information. Library Mysteries are Tuesday, August 13th at 6:30 until 7:30, and Magic the Gathering Club is meeting this Thursday, August 8th at 6. Oxford Township Parks and Recreation has their summer camp going still. They offer both before and after care for weekly and daily rates. This week is week 9, starting from August 5th until August 9th, and the final week of camp is August 12th until the 16th. Over at Addison Public Library, the event this week is Junk in the Trunk sale starting at 10 a.m. on Saturday, August 10th. Speaking of news, over at Addison, the Township Board has voted on resolution of support with some exciting news coming up pretty soon. Keep an eye out to see what's in store for them. They're also urging people who love the library and the community to come out and join the Capital Campaign Committee. There you can help brainstorm fundraising ideas. They meet monthly on every second Tuesday. If interested, contact the Addison Library at 248-628-7180. If you aren't interested in joining the committee, you can still participate by purchasing a brick that will be installed into the new library building. You can get your name on it as well as 3 lines of text. The brick purchase can be paid for in installments if you prefer not to buy it outright or can't. In addition to purchasing a brick, you can also purchase floor tiles that will be put inside the new building's flooring. Look for more in-depth description of these services and more concerning the new building, activities hosted inside the current building, and much more on the next episode of Scrolling Around. The Parks and Rec magazine also offers discount tickets for Cedar Point, Michigan Adventure, and the Detroit Zoo. For each of these different locations, be sure to stop by Parks and Rec and pick up a magazine to see the logins and codes. The next Board of Ed meeting is being held on Tuesday, August 13th at the Board Building on 10 North Washington Street. All meetings start promptly at 6:30 for those who would like to attend. Everyone's welcome, and a set time is set aside for the public to address the board with questions and concerns. Before we go, Oxford High School was pleased to announce its new athletics Wildcat logo. Athletic Director Jordan Ackerman saw the desire and need to create a new logo for the secondary level athletics. The new logo is said to be sleek and modern, reflecting the fierce tendency the students of Oxford High School have as they give their all in competition. The new logo will be used solely for high school athletics, while the circled Wildcat logo will continue to be used throughout the district. The Wildcat icon, related marks, and logos are registered trademarks and are the property of Oxford Community Schools. Anyone using any of the Oxford Schools logos must first be authorized. To find out how to gain authorization and usage rights, visit oxfordschools.org or contact Oxford Schools Director of Marketing and Communications at 248-969-5022. And that does it for this week's school news. Until next time, I'm Alexis Ware.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication Automotive News. In our first story, Volkswagen Group of America is recalling over 144,000 Audi vehicles in the U.S. to fix malfunctioning passenger side airbag occupant sensors, according to NHTSA, the nation's top quality safety regulator. The recall, issued July 24th, covers certain 2018 Audi S5 and A5 vehicles, along with some 2017 to 2018 A4s. Oxidation on the connecting cable of the passenger occupant detection system can cause software to fail to detect occupants and disable the passenger airbag, the recall said. A spokesman for Audi told Automotive News, that is, in an email statement that 26,000 vehicles in Canada are also being recalled. The recall is in response to an oversensitivity of the passenger occupant detection system, or PODS, connecting cable in the instance of a partial surface oxidation of the electrical shielding in the cable harness, the statement said. If this happens, the PODS will detect the malfunction and switch off the passenger airbag, even though the seat may be occupied. As designed, a warning light in the instrument panel comes on, together with a warning sound, and an error message is displayed in the instrument cluster, the statement said. The airbag indicator light shows passenger airbag off. If this happens, customers are advised to contact an authorized Audi dealer to have the vehicle inspected or repaired without delay. The manufacturer of the malfunctioning PODS, IEE of Luxembourg, did not respond to requests for comment. And in our next story, the Dodge Charger Hemi and Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat are the two vehicles most likely to be stolen, according to a recent study by the Highway Loss Data Institute. The vehicles, along with the Infiniti Q50, have claim rates for whole vehicle theft that are more than 5 times the average for 2016 to 2018 models. Nearly all of the top 20 most stolen models and variants have large engines or are luxury vehicles or pickups, according to the report. The models most likely to be stolen tend to be powerful, pricey, or pickups, but vehicle theft is also a crime of opportunity, Matt Moore, the Institute's senior vice president, said in a statement. Better security features on all vehicles would be the best way to address the problem. Leading the least stolen list is the BMW 3 Series 4-door sedan, followed by the Tesla Model S and Model X, according to HDLI. The low rate of theft for the Tesla models may be related to the fact that as electric vehicles, they are usually parked in garages or close to a house to be near a power supply, the statement said. An Institute report last year showed electric vehicles from several manufacturers have lower theft claims than comparable vehicles. The Cadillac Escalade, which previously dominated the Institute's most stolen ranks, did not make the list for the recent study. Part of the reason is that the large luxury SUV now has more competition in that category, including from the Infiniti QX80 and the Land Rover Range Rover, vehicles that are now among the most stolen, this statement said. Cadillac also added more anti-theft features starting with the 2015 model year, the Institute said. The Institute, an affiliate of the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, examined claims per insured vehicle year to compare the relative risk of each vehicle. An insured vehicle year is one vehicle insured for 1 year. And over at Nissan, the Nissan Skyline sedan's front fascia had to be extended and smoothed to accommodate the new sensors. The Japan rollout of the ProPilot technology shows how Nissan Company is thinking about new design features for the futuristic self-driving technologies it wants as the centerpiece of its DNA. Design chief Alfonso Albesa said the front fascia of the Nissan Skyline sedan, the basis for the Infiniti Q50 in the US, had to be extended and smoothed to accommodate the all-new sensors needed for the ProPilot 2 system. Sensors under the sheet metal don't see well through fancier creasing and more angular styling. The Skyline is the first nameplate getting the ProPilot upgrade that enables truly hands-free auto-navigating highway driving. The changes to the front styling are barely noticeable but necessary for the technology to work seamlessly. What happens with a lot of these sensors is they don't like creases and they don't like undercuts because it diffracts from their wavelengths, Albesa said. You'll find that on a lot of cars coming, probably on all brands, to be honest. It prefers clean surfaces so the sensors and the LiDAR and everything can send out very clean waves. More design changes will occur inside self-driving vehicles. A pod-like infrared camera sits in the middle of the Skyline's dashboard. It monitors the driver to make sure the person behind the wheel is alert and ready to take command in an emergency, even when the vehicle is driving itself. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and as always, may the wind be at your back as you cruise down life's highways.
Hi, I'm Danielle Smith, and welcome to your weekly calendar, where I share the events and activities in our community. So listen up and take notes. Here we go. The Oxford Chamber of Commerce is hosting a Coffee Connect at the Oxford Pregnancy Clinic, located at 35 North Washington. The Coffee Connect will take place on August 6th from 8 to 9 a.m. This will be a time for you to network with local businesses. If you are interested in hosting a Coffee Connect, contact the Chamber office at 248-628-0410. If you are looking to have a grand old time, look no further. Oxford Township Parks and Recreation is hosting their second and final grand experience of the summer. Come on out to Kids Kingdom at Seymour Lake Park and enjoy the playground, hot dogs, snacks, beverages, bubbles, and time well spent with a grandparent or any loved one. The grand experience will take place on August 6th from 11 a.m. to 12:30. To RSVP for this free event, call the Parks and Rec office at 248-628-1720. The Oxford Chamber of Commerce is continuing their speaker series, and this is your last chance to register. Join expert motivational speaker Michael Jeffries as he walks you through 5 action strategies for taking your life to the next level. The event will take place on August 7th from 8 to 9:30 a.m. at Independence Village, and breakfast will be served. Registration ends August 6th, so make sure to reserve your spot by filling out the form at oxfordchamber.net or by calling the Chamber office at 248-628-0410. While you are out and about on August 6th, make sure you stop by your designated precinct and vote. There will be 2 millage proposals on the ballot, one for Parks and Rec and the other for the Sheriff's Department. With these millage proposals, note that the Sheriff's millage is only for Oxford Township, while the Parks and Rec millage is for the Village of Oxford and Township. OCTV was at the community forum hosted by the Sheriff's Department and Parks and Rec, so make sure to watch that on our YouTube channel and get caught up with the Oxford leader. You will find all of the information you need about the 2 proposals to help you make an informed decision. If you are unsure about which precinct you vote at, go to the Oxford Township website, oxfordtownship.net, and click on the Taxes and Voting tab. Lake Point Community Church is hosting their annual Veterans Barbecue Picnic on August 10th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Enjoy an afternoon full of food, fun, entertainment, and fellowship with a live band, line dancing, games, and door prizes, as well as a DJ. This free event is open to all veterans and their families. To register, go to lakepointcc.org. If you've put off your spring cleaning until recently, and now you don't know what to do with the rest of everything you've accumulated, don't worry. The Addison Township Public Library is hosting a Junk in the Trunk sale on August 10th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Bring any unwanted items and sell them out of the trunk of your vehicle, or you can bring a table or tent. This will be a great way to visit with others and maybe bring home a new treasure of your own. Please note that weapon sales are not allowed. For more information and to register, contact Jayma Berman at 248-628-7180. Do you have the inside scoop on an event you think the community should know about? If so, we want to hear from you. Contact the studio at 248-628-9658 or email us at manager@occtv.org. That's a wrap for your weekly calendar. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and YouTube to stay up to date on all things going on in your community. I'm Danielle Smith. See you next time.